iOS 18 Beta 7 could be the last update before the final release, hinting that the iPhone 16 could launch earlier than expected. Apple has released the 7th iteration of its iOS 18 beta to developers, which is quite stable compared to the initial builds, and we are now hearing that it might be the last update before the iPhone 16 launch. Apple typically hosts its iPhone event in the first half of September, and while the days are closing fast, it appears that the devices will be announced earlier than expected. Apple could release the iPhone 16 early, as analyst claims that iOS 18 Beta 7 is the final build based on comments from Bloomberg analyst Mark Gurman on X. iOS 18 Beta 7 is the final build other than features tied to the new hardware. While Gurman is quite credible, along with his sources familiar with the subject, there is a possibility that iOS 18 could arrive early, but there are some aspects that need to be considered before we draw conclusions. For one, it is possible that Gurman means that iOS 18 Beta 7 is the last update before the iPhone 16 debuts. However, he could also mean that the company will not add more features to the mix, making iOS 18 Beta 7 the last update with changes and new additions before the new devices are announced. We have to take note that the company still has to announce the release candidate build of iOS 18. Which means that we still have another week or so before the company can release iOS 18 if news related to the matter has heft to it. Irrespective of the fact that a release candidate build will be released in the coming week, the company could still be announcing the iPhone 16 lineup early. We can safely presume that the company will host its iPhone 16 event in the first half of next month, possibly on September 10th, which has been the company's trend in the past. We believe the company will release an additional beta of iOS 18 next week, similar to last year, before seeding a release candidate build. Henceforth, be sure to take the news with a grain of salt.